Morning, everybody. I call our regular staff meeting to order. We'll start off with our staff elected reports, so I would call them up to start us off.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Reed, County Planner. Just a couple of items to update you on. We had an individual interested in a storage business in a Downers edition, and so they may be coming forward with a conditional use permit beyond the west end of the Downers edition. So we'll see if that one materializes. Interest in a quarry permit on Barker Road in the vicinity of where the temporary hot mix batch plant was. So that may be coming forward as well. As you'll recall, back in June, the board granted a temporary extension for the Unified Taylor Quarry. Well, that expires here. It was a 6-month extension, expires December 2nd. So, and we've learned to that fact, the ownership has changed in the interim. It went from Taylor's to Ramaco now. Now, Ramaco's been alerted to the fact that this quarry permit does end the extension ends on December 2nd. So they may be coming to us post haste. We'll see what happens. So there's still the prospect of continuing that operation. I believe there's active operation there right now. So anyway, we'll see how that one develops. But anyway, that's all I've got at this time. So
Questions from Mark?
questions I try to answer them.
Questions, anybody? I'm sure Ramaco's busy mining rare earth minerals. That's why they're not paying attention
Could well be.
to quarry operations.
Could well be. I believe I think the table over equipment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Ken?
Morning, Ken Miller, County Engineer. A few things, we got the signs, four-way stop at 15th and Taylor and Downer up now. So that's been on the books for a while. We didn't want to do that, just Crowdy was able to have a crew go out and put those up. So that's a four-way stop now. Let's see what, the bridge over Burlington Northern out Twin Creek Road. The right-of-way plans are complete and have been approved. We have a final plan inspection next week, and there'll be purchasing right away. So we need 2 private landowners, and then just change it with the Burlington Northern, our existing easement with them. So that should come together. That's planned to get let this year. Well, probably in 2026, but early 2026. East Ridge Road, same deal. We got the right away plans out. They're final. They're out, going to be purchasing right away. Again, I think they need 2 landowners on that project. And again, that's scheduled for I think an early 2026 letting.
And those are both with YDOT, right?
Yes.
YDOT pays.
Yeah. One of them's a consultant job. The bridge is a consultant. YDOT just is overseeing the consultant for that. And they'll do the construction administration also for that project. Red Grade Road, got a meeting a week from today with Central Federal Lands, kind of see what the status is on that. As you know, we still don't have one landowner that need temporary construction permits, and so they're reviewing how we could maybe move forward without having those for that project. So road bridge up, doing a lot of work on cattle guards, signs, and just kind of miscellaneous work. I'd sure like to see some moisture come before freeze up, get some more roads kind of shaped out for winter. Yeah. Be dry out there. I'll have
Questions for the
Mr. Chairman, Ken, when is their meeting on Red Grade?
It's a Zoom meeting, Monday, a week from today at 3:00. Send you the Zoom link.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Ken, you mentioned East Ridge Road. Is that the project where they're talking about kind of trying to get rid of that real sharp Let's just go straight.
Yeah, that's, it's got a good portion on the north end realignment scheduled, yeah. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
that's one of the landowners that didn't right away from. And so, yep. Okay. Thank you, Kim. Yep. All. County Assessor. Quick update on the homeowners exemptions. We're about 2150 as of this morning. You guys did a good job on public polls. We did have somebody maybe a hair confused. You can get the veterans and the homeowners or the long-term homeowners. The only ones you can't get are the long-term homeowner and the homeowners. They're not gonna get 75%, but if they qualify for the veterans, they still can get that. Just somebody called the office and was asking, so it's like, I don't know, I didn't listen to you, but I did
You
listen.
repeated what was on the flyer,
Exactly,
so.
yeah.
Word for word.
So just to clarify that, lighter note, maybe, heavier note, I'm gonna retire at the end of the year. I will be resigning my position effective January 1st, 2026. Been a great 27-year run. It's time for me to move on. Somebody else take over and do their thing.
I might ask the attorney if we can hold him to his contract.
Trust me, everybody's been trying to, it's been a tough decision, I'll be honest. But, I don't know, I think it's time to move on. So I thank you guys. It's been a great career. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, Paul, congratulations and thank you for all your hard work throughout the years.
You're welcome. Final party hopefully downstairs here.
So 27 years?
27 years, yes, sir.
Wow.
Pretty painful.
Are you sure you won't come in like part-time and then kind of diffuse all the fist fights?
Yeah, hopefully not, but I have, I have discussed with people in my office, and I got some people gonna be in charge at least temporarily until things progress forward, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Anyway, congratulations.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you for all your hard work. That's awesome. Dr. Bird.
Katie? Ready?
No, but I would like to know who is invited to Paul's party.
Kimber?
Good morning, Kimber Solberg, Fairgrounds Director. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I've been in communication with Dr. Sarah Schreiber at Moxie Schreiber Veterinary Hospital regarding the protocol for the current EHV1 outbreak. Dr. Schreiber initially recommended closing the stalls while allowing overnight travelers to continue using the outdoor pens. Under the plan, the arenas could also remain open provided that all visitors signed in upon entering the grounds. And an sign-in sheet was placed in our office. However, over the weekend, our security system recorded 3 vehicles, as of now, we're still looking, using the arena without signing in. Out of an abundance of caution, Dr. Schreiber and I now recommend closing the access to the fairgrounds, outdoor pens, arenas, and stalls. If an overnight traveler needs to unload, they may do so in the parking lot and tie their horses to their trailer or use their own portable panels. We currently have 2 on-site horse boarders. These individuals will be provided with a key to the padlock at the entry gates to the outdoor pens where their horses are currently stalled. I respectfully request the Board of Commissioners to support this type of action.
Well, it's a sad situation, but I understand what Dr. Schreiber is recommending. And, she's the science into this. I mean, I think I would agree with what you want to do. Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, Kimber, how long are you thinking that it might be closed?
My thoughts are we will follow the advice of the expert, and at this point, we're using Dr. Schreiber as our expert. Her best guess at this time is 7 to 10 days. the goal was to keep the fairgrounds open in the event we have overnight travelers who need to access the, the first safety piece of it. However, I'll say, there were folks who didn't follow the protocol, and it's just a sad situation, but we have to, I'll say, err on the side of caution.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, so you're saying that, Sarah's saying that they need a bill of health before they can board at the fairgrounds, and only then not in the stalls at that time, it'll be only in the open area. And is that where you're going with
No,
this?
sir.
or-
No, sir. We currently have two long-term boarders, is how we refer to them, and they've been assigned their stalls and their pens. They have not been off the property, I'll say, for at least a month. And that may be give or take a couple days or whatever. So we have two long-term horse boarders. Those folks we're good with, and we discussed the protocols with them. This would be more for the folks who are traveling across country and they need a place to stop and unload horses. We would then close all of the facilities that we have to those travelers, and also to the folks who are here locally in the community who come up to use the facilities to ride in that. And it's because the folks didn't sign in. Sarah and I spoke this morning, Dr. Schreiber and I spoke this morning, and had folks followed the protocol, she was comfortable with leaving it as is. But because folks didn't follow the requested protocol, we feel that the only option we have is to close to outside overnight travelers and or folks coming onto the fairgrounds to use the facility. Does that clarify your question?
Nowhere in there is there a bill of health, did you mention whatsoever? You're
The
required to have a bill of health.
long-term horse
to travel.
boarders? Yes,
No.
the long-term horse
You're
boarders.
talking about traveling. The people you're gonna shut it down to are people that are gonna use the facility overnight for the most part. They're traveling, they're going on I-90, they're going somewhere. They
Right.
need a place to put their horses. They're required by state law to have a bill of health come through the state law as it is. So if they have a bill of health from a veterinarian that says if this horse is healthy, you're gonna walk them out anyway?
I'm going to say at this point, yes, because we don't check, we're not on the grounds 24/7 to check folks who are coming in after the 8 to 5 hours. They can come into the fairground and I'll say park in the parking lot tied to a trailer or set up their own portable pens, but we would lock the facilities, the pens, stalls, and arenas of the facility.
Okay, but they can set up a set of pens and they can tie their horses to their trailer at the fairgrounds.
That's, as far as I'm concerned, that would be fine.
But you're not requiring them to show you a bill of health.
No, because we're not on the grounds 24/7. We don't have somebody.
Mike, I would say the bill of health's only good when the vet's looking at the horse, and if they're traveling across country, they might stay at 5 different fairgrounds and be intermixed with who knows how many other horses. So the idea is to quarantine them. When
I
they're
do this quite often, so I know.
I know you do.
However, we're in a whole different situation right now with the CHP1. They canceled the national finals breakaway open.
I know.
They canceled all the horse events at the South Point in Las Vegas.
Thanks for-
No matter what kind of bills of health you have, and we're in an emergency situation right now.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
It's trying to keep the transfer from happening between different people
Correct.
coming in, using stalls that don't get sanitized probably as much as they should, and then other horses go in there. So, yeah, I think it's fine to if they use their own pens, they tie up to a trailer, just to get their horses out of the trailer, stretch their legs. Then the next morning, they load up and take off again, right?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
where I was going with this is that they are required to have a bill of health to start with. Meaning that before they even could unload their horses at the fairgrounds, they should produce that bill of health to you. Even with our extra measures that Dr. Schreiber is asking for, they should still have that bill of health from their vet to produce to you before they even unload off the trailer. That's what I was getting at.
I know what you're getting at, but who's gonna be at the fairgrounds at 10 o'clock at night to look at that bill of health? Are you gonna pay somebody to be there at 10 o'clock at night? I don't think so.
I would say, Mr. Chairman, that at the next they have to, they're gonna check in there at the fairgrounds at some point, whether it be that night or the next morning, then they can show you their bill of health. But they're required to have it. You have it no matter what. And I think that's just an additional measure that they should be producing upon using the fairgrounds.
I would agree with you, Mike. The big caveat is we established a protocol and some of the folks who came onto the fairgrounds didn't adhere to that protocol. And therefore, this was if everybody follows the guidelines, Dr. Schreiber was okay with continuing with that. Because people did not follow that protocol, that's where it's like, well, if we can't have them follow the protocol, we need to go ahead and lock it down. And I'm not saying lock it down from Fifth Street and Victoria, but lock down the access to the stalls and outdoor pens and the arena.
Well, and Mr. Chairman, the other issue becomes there, like you say, there were people who came in and violated the protocols who are probably local people and therefore are probably not required to have a health certificate as long as they move within the county. But you have no idea where those horses have been and what they've been in contact with. And I mean, this is killing $1 million horses right out there right now that have been to lots of places. And I mean, there's no sense for us. I can tell you what liability we open up if $1 million horse dies because it caught the virus at our fairgrounds. So I think that it's certainly a necessary effort at this point, and hopefully it's a short-lived deal and it's over with.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Kimber, so most of the individuals are trying to understand what this process is. During the day, is that where they would go in and use the facilities and Dr. Travis would look at them and say yes or no, and then, okay.
No one.
Can you explain it a little more?
Sure. No one on the fairgrounds is assessing any animal. One of the things they said was, well, you could tempt the horses. I am not an expert. I am not a veterinarian. I am not going to accept that responsibility. So then it was, well, if we can at least get them to sign in, we would have a record so that we could say, these horses were on the property and something happens. Without that, at least that mechanism, there's really no way to assess. And you run into, I say it's healthy, you say it's not. So it's got to be I'll say a veterinarian, in my opinion, to determine that.
Mr. Chairman, follow-up question. So for, where were you having the biggest problem? Was it like during the day or overnight, people coming in and?
Apparently, from the video that we've pulled up from the system so far, it was folks coming in to use the arena facility that didn't sign in. And that was, I guess, alarming, because I would think that the folks who would use the facility would at least sign in to say, I was here with 2 horses. And that way, if something were to happen, we could at least contact them with regards to this.
Got contact numbers and you can track them down.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
I'd like to offer a little bit of a compromise, because this seems to kind of explode into a bigger issue of maybe putting in a reassessment at 10 days for you to come back and for us to say, hey, what does this look like? Is this going to be a longer term issue where we need to come up with some different solutions? Or is this a short term issue like Dr. Travis is hoping, 7 to 10 days?
Absolutely. That is, it isn't that this will be indefinitely, at least from my perspective at the moment. It would just be until the expert community says this disease is no longer a threat.
I'd like to, if we're going to pass this, I'd like to add in the idea of reevaluating it in 10 days, no matter what, but it comes back in 10 days steps.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Kimber,
Yes,
you said that the infraction of the people not signing in is actually during the day, utilizing the arena,
yes,
but you had people out there working during the day.
not on the weekend, sir.
I see. So they were using the fairgrounds facilities on the weekend,
Correct,
but not signing in.
correct.
This is, to me, this is very serious, very close, because I have expensive horses also. And, I've been to a lot of shows that, believe it or not, the sign-in to get into a fairgrounds over at Black Hills is phenomenal at times when we have health issues like this. I don't think we do enough. I think we need to do something more. That's just my 2 cents worth on it.
Fair enough. Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, do we need to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I could interject, I think Kimber just wanted to bring this to your attention. It's not a decision for this board. The fair board runs the fairgrounds.
That's right.
Correct. And I think we have a fairgrounds manager, we have a fair board, and we have a veterinarian recommendation who certainly has a lot more expertise than any of us do by virtue of passing vet school, which I didn't do. So, I think that we give her permission to manage her fairgrounds with her board and the veterinarian. There's no vote to be had here.
Absolutely, and it was your intention anyway, Kimber, to come back and probably give us an update in a week or 10 days?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Thanks for bringing it to us, letting us
Thank
know
you.
what's going on. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Robert?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Robert Beal, Sheridan County Airport Manager. On Friday, I did receive another 2-week notice from a maintenance technician. So currently have 2 vacancies, down 3 from last year. So, but respectfully request to replace that position as well.
And it was a position that existed as far as your budget goes. I don't see any problem with that. Does anybody else?
No problem.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I would move that we allow the airport to refill the maintenance tech position.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion?
Mr. Chairman, Robert, just out of curiosity, what do you think is driving the continued rollover in those positions?
Well, the first notice I got, I feel like we did a good job hiring talent. He was a diesel tech mechanic, fit in well with working on our snow removal equipment, and got offered a position at doing mechanicing at a mine for a much higher salary. Tell you, we've had the first position open for 3 weeks, and we've just gotten 2 applications. I do know that the airport can be challenging with the demand on snow removal. If we're not in snow removal yet, we can definitely face burnout there. But I mean, salaries is a challenge. Times are tough, and when we hire good employees over time, they find a position where they can make more at.
Question?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion passes. Anything else, Robert?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you, sir. Kelly? Kenny? Connor?
Commissioners, Katie Custis, Human Resources Coordinate Manager with me. I think in your packets, did you guys have a draft courthouse closure schedule? Okay, I'm going to hand these out. So this is just a draft of the schedule for 2026. There really are no changes from 2025 other than just the dates. And these will, this will end up on your December 2nd BOCC meeting for approval. If at any time you guys decide you want to make any changes or have any other conversations about other holidays that aren't present, we'll do that over the next week, or unless you have questions now.
Anybody have questions on the courthouse closure schedule for 26?
Great, thank you.
Skinny. Levi? I don't have anything.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to let you know that in follow-up to Prince Stewart's presentation on behalf of the Hub, last meeting, he has provided me a draft resolution for your consideration. I'm tweaking that, and it will be in your packets for the next regular meeting.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? Mr. James?
I don't believe I've got anything other than I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Darcy?
No, I don't have anything right now.
Mr. Siddle?
Oh, I'm good, thanks.
I would echo Commissioner Jennings' wishes. Everyone has a great Thanksgiving. And with that, we will move on to travel and tourism industry update. Tom Barker, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commission. I promise to try and get us out of here on time for Thanksgiving. As some folks I know, but I think everybody does have a copy of my quarterly update, so I didn't bother with the song and dance that I would typically do, and I didn't present very similar data. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, well, no, it was sent out at the first of the month in your emails, so,
Yeah.
but I'll make sure to follow up, so. Very briefly, a lot of economic factors are pretty tough across the country and the world right now. So I am happy to report that our industry, second largest industry in the state of Wyoming, was pretty strong and strong here specifically locally in Sheridan County through this year. So visitation was down just a hair. We had 633,000 visitors from January 1st through September this year. Last year. This year down to 615,000, but visitor days, which is typically more important, were up just a hair to 1,700,000 visitor days, which equals out to an average overnight of about 2.8 nights per stay, which is a really big deal, really big deal. I mean, Sheridan isn't more of a destination every year. 10 years ago, when I took over here, we were at about 1.4 on the average overnight, which meant one thing: people were coming here for a night on the way to Yellowstone or somewhere else. So it's really important for our businesses and our community that people do stay longer. And we can take some of the strain off, busy or high periods if people are making, if fewer people are making more extended trips, which is really positive news. Average hotel occupancy through the summer was up about 1%. Average daily rates pretty flat. It's at $108, which still shows that Sheridan is a reasonably affordable destination from a tourism standpoint. Those hotel numbers stay low. People are spending more money at our local businesses, which is really strong news. This is an important one: share of visitor spending. So the share of all visitor spending at restaurants was 34% through the year. That means visitors are contributing 34% of all restaurant spending. And this one's really important: 61% of all retail spend was spent by visitors this year. So huge numbers. Total annual spending will be about 165 million if we trend similar to last year. Total local and state taxes more than 8 million, and our total direct employment in travel and tourism, direct employment, hotels, restaurants, those kind of things, is 1,020 people. So a pretty successful year on the raw data, considering that some of our neighbors like Natrona County are down over 16%, which is a big decrease. You'll see even Park County down here. So we're doing pretty good. Our campaigns and deployments with our team: Craft is King, which focuses on local artists, artisans, and makers. This year included Von Cest Hats, the Parkman Bar, Sage Community Arts, the Wood Carvers and the Bighorns. Those guys have been meeting out there for 20 years at Expressions, and it was a pretty cool opportunity to visit with them and feature them. Icons and Outlaws, hugely popular the last couple of years. I think most folks have seen that. Buffalo Bill Cody, Dr. Will Frackleton. We featured Queen Elizabeth's visit from 1984. And then we just had a piece come out about Prince's visit in 1986, which was extremely popular as well, ahead of the 40th anniversary of that event next year. Our outlets, we know all that stuff. You know, we're in outlets digitally, print, all sorts of things across the country and internationally. One of the cool campaign highlights from Icons and Outlaws this year, between June 20th and October 4th, we had a $25,000 digital spend, and that was tracked to generate 6,800 visits and 4,500 room nights for an economic impact of $1.4 million. So campaigns are working, stuff's moving along really well. Other efforts include, obviously, community calendar with the Chamber, Sheridan Press, and Sheridan Media. We did a frontline worker training that was really well attended in the spring with the Chamber of Commerce. Trade shows, conferences, consumer shows, all that great stuff continues as normal. Some folks were able to visit with us for the I'm Only a Craftsman Leathercraft documentary that we released in May. That was 400 people. More than 400 people came out to the Whitney Center during the leather trade show. Incredibly successful. We were really proud of that debut. And we've since been accepted into 2 film festivals, one in France, one in Argentina, coming up in 2026 with a dozen or so more we're waiting on word from. And then we'll have that showing again here in July at the Wino in tandem with Jim Jackson's retrospective, which is going to be a huge celebration for anybody involved in leathercraft. Visitor Center quickly, and Burgess Junction, so over 100,000 people at the Visitor Center this year, and then Burgess Junction, which was our 3rd season. We did just under 30,000 visitors. We're open 7 days a week, pretty proud of our staff. Not one sick day this year. We're open 7 days a week, 8 to 4 every day. So really successful up there. And we'll be back for our 4th season with the Forest Service. We anticipate starting on Memorial Day weekend in 2026. Really good mix too. A lot of locals and visitors using the space up there and coming up. So we've been really proud to keep that open for the community the last 3 years. Upcoming, of course, Wyo Winter Rodeo. If we get some snow, that will take place. Kimber's working on the snow machines, I think, if not, right? And that'll feature the Sheridan Hawks games, Family Sled Day, Moonlight Ski event at Sibley Lake. We're working with the lodges on some snowmobile programs as well. 4th of July events in tandem with the Semi-Quincentennial Project. We have the Chamber taking the reins to do a big event at Kendrick Park and Kendrick Mansion for the event. Bruce Burns is interested in doing a fireworks show for the community, so that's going to be great, as well as Ranchester and other communities as well. Working on something really special with Craftco, so reached out to them. I wanted to do something to commemorate veterans for the Semi-Quincentennial Project. So they're looking into doing custom seats that we would install with a plaque and a metal flag on those seats at the high school, at the hockey rink, at the fairgrounds, and we would commemorate those on the 4th of July, which would be really, really phenomenal for the community, I think. And then we're targeting, again, some large-scale conferences for 2026 and beyond. Had some chats with the BMW Motorcycle Association of America about potentially using the fairgrounds in either 27 or 28 for a big annual event, and the rest continues on. We were contacted by a large defense contractor about setting up a facility here in Sheridan County in the future. So I put that up the pipeline through CETA and to the Business Council. So just waiting to hear back on how those discussions are going, but I know they're happening now. So busy as usual.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Questions for Sean?
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
All right, I guess my question would be is, how much effort are you doing towards wintertime tourism right now? Are you going to shows? Are you, the booths and things like that, or can you elaborate on that a little?
Sure. Yeah. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Arzi, yeah, tons. Lots of digital stuff on the go with focusing on snowmobiling, of course. It's just the bread and butter for the community. Had a group locally at Paydays, big, huge show in Minnesota. So we support those guys, and just, a lot of ads and material go out about wintertime annually, typically around mid-September, and then runs through February every year.
We're not being very successful at getting all that snow on the mountain for the snowmobile.
It's not working great right now.
But we know it's coming.
Hopefully, yeah.
we know
I mean,
it's
we keep hearing that we're gonna have a great year, so we'll see.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments for Sean?
So I'll just thank you for all you do for our community. It certainly shows in the revenue stream for our community and the success that our businesses have. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It really is our honor. You know, this is a special place, so
Thanks for all your hard work, sir.
thank you.
All right. All right, thank you much. Anyway, with that, we're going to be adjourned at 9:45.
Man,